Hey guys, so welcome back to your next class of Catalyst Concepts. In the previous lesson, we were looking at what exactly are the types of work. We looked at what is positive work, we also looked at what is negative work, and we looked at ways of certain examples for each, and we looked at how to calculate these in case they're giving us a problem on either of these, right? So today what we are going to do, um, in the previous class, when we spoke about positive and negative work, I used one term, right? I used this word energy. Right? And we kind of just used the term there. We didn't really go in depth about what energy am I talking about. So today's class, we're going to look at what exactly is this energy and how we can understand it or how it works when we're talking about any form of work that is happening. Okay, let's take a couple of very easy examples to try to understand energy. Now, this is energy is one word that we use in daily life also. Like I'll say that, okay, if you drink glucose, you get energy. One way of saying, right? We also say our body produces energy when we eat food, right? You also say, okay, I'm tired, I don't have the energy to do it. So in commonplace, we do use the word energy a lot. Uh, One more very easy way for you to understand energy is like for example, say that me being an older person will be able to do a certain thing that you might not be able to do, right? If you have to carry something like, say, a 30 kilo, 50 kilo object, I might be able to do it, can't say, but a very small kid will not be able to do it, right? So energy, in a sense, if we say, if I have to define it, I will call energy as nothing but the ability or the capacity is a better word actually. I'll say to do work. Okay. Why am I calling it the capacity to do work? We are going to illustrate with like a couple of situational examples. Now, say that we have a simple object. Let's say I have this pen in my hand, right? Keeping anything in your hand is not really, nothing happens to your hand really. It's just there, right? But say that you drop the same pen from a really big height and you try to place it in your hand. What's going to happen? And of course, you won't be able to hold it. It's going to do something to your hand. So don't try this. I'm just telling you, giving you an example. A very simple way I can tell you is this, right? Imagine there's a glass plate, right? And imagine there's like a small ball on it. Now, when you place a ball on a plate, nothing substantial is going to happen. It's just going to be sitting there. Now, you take the same plate, but you drop the ball from a certain height directly on the plate, right? You just take the ball, you put it up at a height, and you just leave it. And it's going to go and hit the plate, right? In both the situations, the action, what happens, the result is going to be different, right? Over here, pretty much nothing is going to happen, but over here, pretty much your plate will break, or your glass plate is going to break, right? This, what is the difference between these two situations, right? We're using the same ball, we're using the same plate. The only thing we've changed over here is the height, right? And just because of this change of height, the reaction on the glass plate is different, although it's done by the same object, right? So I can say that this object and this object have very different capacities of doing work, right? This has a low capacity, right? Because it's not doing anything much, but this one has a high capacity because it went and smashed the plate, right? So Uh, in simple terms, anything that is high energy can do more work. Okay. Anything that has more energy can do more work. Anything with less energy can do less work, right? Because we say that, if you remember the definition of work, we say work happens when there is force and there is displacement, right? The displacement part is important over here. Okay, now when we talk about displacement, we're talking about a body moving. Now, a body is not going to move on its own, right? So, for a body to move, we need it to get some energy, right? The body can only move when it will gain energy. So, if you are giving energy to an object, only then it's going to be able to move forward, or else it's not going to move. Hence, energy is needed for work to happen. As simple as that. Without energy, there is no work. Because without energy, there is no force, and without that force, there is no movement of the object happening. All right. Now, how exactly does this energy work? Right? How is energy constant or not constant? I think with this example, we have quite clarified that energy is not constant. Okay. Just like people, even objects can change their energies. Okay. Energy can be changed from object to object, right? For example, if you change the position, okay, of an object, or you change the state of an object, right? If you change either of these, then the object's energy is going to change, right? Like over here, a raised object or at a height is going to have more energy than an object at a low height. Okay, similarly you can do different ways, basically a lot of ways that objects can gain or lose energy. Now, when an object has energy, what it will do is it will transfer this energy to another object. Okay. When this energy transfer happens is when we say that the work is happening. Because of the energy transfer, we say that some force is going, right? The force is nothing but the energy being transferred from object 1 to object 2. And because of that, the second object is going to move. That is because since force is acted, energy is gained, and since energy is gained, the object will move. I hope you understood the sequence of events. A body has high energy, right? It is going to affect another body, do some work on it, basically give it an amount of energy which is sent through force, and that energy is going to move that object to a certain distance because of the elevated energy. Okay, so when work is happening, transfer of energy is definitely going to happen. From where to where, right? It happens from the first object to the second object, basically on the one who's doing work to the object that is getting the work done on it. Let's illustrate with one example before we close off this topic. Okay. Say a man is standing here and he rolls a ball, right? And the ball is going to go all this way here and stop. Okay. If I look at this man, energy is going from this person to the ball, correct? So this is positive work. Okay, because he's putting the force in this direction, the ball is going in that direction, right? And I also know it's positive work because since the object's speed is increasing, I'll say it is gaining energy, right? The ball gains energy, hence it is able to move. So whenever positive work happens, the energy of the object is going to increase. It reduces for the person doing work, it increases for the object on which work is happening. Okay. So I can say that energy is removed from this person and given to the ball. Now the same ball, once it goes a little far, it is going to stop, right? That is because there is another force working on it in the opposite direction, which is nothing but your friction force, right? Now we know that friction force does negative work. Negative work. So when negative work happens on a body, the energy of the object is going to reduce. Okay. So only in positive work, the object's energy increases and the giver's energy will decrease. But in negative work, it's the opposite. The energy will decrease for the object. All right. So these are a couple of key points when it comes to energy. Mainly the definition, that is energy is nothing but the ability of an object or capacity of an object to do work. More the energy, more the work that can happen. Objects can change the amount of energy they have through different methods, either through their position change or through the change in their state, right? And finally, we looked at what type of work has what type of energy change, right? Positive work, the object's energy is increasing. Negative work, the object's energy is decreasing. Okay, and the one who gives the energy, their energy decreases. The one who on whom the work is happening, that object's energy will increase. Only when it's negative work will the energy decrease. Okay. So this is just a basic thing you should understand. In the next class, we'll talk about a very specific type of energy. Since there are multiple types, there's heat, there's sound energy, and there's whatnot. There's like a lot of different energies. But we'll be focusing on maybe like one or two types of energies for this chapter. In the next class, we'll come and focus on one of these. So for now, if you have any questions, doubts, please drop them in the comment below, and I'll see you again in the next class. Thank you.